All right, Briley, let's take a look at your paper. First things first, obviously, when you hand in a paper, we don't want these things in here. So this looks like a pretty rough final draft. So certainly, I know you're gone right now. So when you get back, hopefully when you get a rewrite out of this, it's going to be a lot more cleaned up here because this is not at all the format that you need for a paper. So I'm just going to grade it as well as I can, ignoring all this. Obviously, this is going to be a major detriment to your paper, but we'll try to get through it. So you start with a quote, which jumps right in the topic, maybe a little bit too much. I would want you to wait a little bit more and then start with something a little bit more attention getting, something more a little more thematic, if you will. You obviously need to cite things where you got them. Look at word choice a little bit. That is 5.2 million that have PTSD. That, I don't know, it seems weird to start with that. I know what you're trying to say after the quote, but it seems weird. You can't introduce Macbeth without introducing the play and the author, so you got to make sure that you do that. Don't say it can be assumed. You're the expert on this, so just tell us what that is. So make sure that you do that. He's shown the vast number of symptoms. These symptoms include, now you don't need, it's not necessarily introducing a list, so you don't need this. You just, because it says, you would just say, you include these things. Your thesis isn't bad. If we keep going to this constant memory of his dark deed in our body paragraphs, I'll be okay with it. I just want to make sure that it's strong enough when we get there. Coming back, make sure your top left hand side is your name, my name, class, and then date. Make sure this is the same font and all the way over to the right hand side as well. Now remember, you need tabs for your paragraphs. All right, let's look at topic sentence. First here, it's pretty much just introducing the symptom of guilt, shame. You have a bunch of information that needs to be cited. You have comma splices. You even know it's supposed to be a period because you capitalize the I. You have comma splices there. And you do have quite a few punctuation errors in here. Capitalization, wrong words, why he must feel this powerful guilt and solitude. Just word choice too. He is confused as to why. Macbeth is confused to why. I mean, why start two sentences with the same exact thing? You have comma splices. You have missing commas. Anyways, you got a lot of stuff punctuation wise that you need to fix. So you get into a little bit of the symptoms, and then you take a lot of time to look at there's even more than this, to look at the examples from the play, which is fine. Then there's the death of Banquo, but that's all of this is basically plot. Now, what we eventually want you to get to is to tie in at the end. A, it's too much plot, by the way. B, we want to tie in a little bit more about the symptom and what it ultimately leads to, which is your thesis statement. So where does it lead to in this? His constant memory of his dark deeds. You got to keep going back to that and keep going back to this idea of guilt, how guilt plays into that. So you say his guilt from his actions are eating away at him, so much so that it helps play a role in his ultimate downfall, but that's not really explaining anything or adding on to it. So you got to add on to it somehow. You also, so after the death of Duncan and Banquo, he begins to feel emotionally numb over subjects that wouldn't normally most would feel despair over. So not a bad transitional statement overall. So let's look at your second body paragraph. All right, a little more just like the first body paragraph here. Topic sentence isn't bad again, but you have a lot of punctuation errors. You have a lot of plot, but not a ton. I mean, this is basically all you're getting into with your analysis, so you got to do a lot more of that in here. Let's read some lines. You know, you have wrong words, their actions, that's the wrong there. When before Lady Macbeth, so that's awkward. Calls Lady Macbeth my dearest love. Yeah, he doesn't feel anything but indifference after his dearest love passes, comma, stating that, no semicolon, comma, she should have died hereafter. And this is good. Surely a certain man who loved his wife would have shown more remorse and felt lost than this. You gotta reword that. Again, go back and reread your sentences, Riley. He also displayed little conflict over order the hit on Banquo. This quote isn't set up very well either. It's almost awkward there. I mean, you explain what the quote means, but to set it up doesn't work. So you got to set that up a little bit better. But you're really not getting into a whole lot of anything to do with any kind of analysis and leading the symptom into the plot. That's your big thing. How do I lead the symptom into the plot? So there's another transition. He wouldn't have killed Macduff's family so heartlessly and causing the ending results. Again, really awkwardly worded here. All right, the one thing that I want you to work on too, Briley, is bringing back in PTSD, and that it's a symptom here. Macbeth's past actions also put him on edge. A common symptom that does this, I don't know. Again, Briley, we got a lot of mistakes here with punctuation. We got a lot of mistakes just with words, word choice. I mean, this is a sentence fragment here. This, you can combine the two sentences. This is the wrong use of a semicolon. I don't know. When you're the expert, don't say things like perhaps or maybe or whatever. Keep that word choice out of there. You're the expert. You have contributed, which is not supposed to be capitalized. You know, the whole relax thing, I don't know if that necessarily applies to Macbeth, that he just needed to relax. I think it's a little bit more than that. All right, so your fourth and final point is Macbeth started to see hallucinations again. Not just that it's the symptom, make it stronger overall. Causes people to see things that aren't really there and start to question reality. He's seen a floating dagger. He sees his ghosts. Now, finally, we get into the memory part. You're finally bringing that up, which is what your thesis was. That should be brought up in every body paragraph. But all you say that it contributes because it shows how far Macbeth had gone to losing his mind. So just be careful. That's A, not strong. B, the whole paragraph's not strong. Not strong. Poorly worded. He had hallucinations, extreme guilt. So here's your conclusion. All you do is repeat your main points and restate the topic of the paper. So obviously that's not working. We don't have a works cited page, so that's going to be difficult too. All right, Briley, this is really just a rough draft. And as such, your grade's going to reflect you handing in a rough draft. So hopefully we'll see a rewrite out of you. Got to make it stronger and definitely better. So good luck.